That's 14, that's 15. Okay, this is what I need to be. Hello? Oh, hi! You're the one saying my name, aren't you? Yeah, alright, hi. Do you know me? You're that's so great! To meet a fan in the airport, it's crazy. That we happen to be in the airport at the same time. What a fun coincidence for you! You know what, that's really interesting. I wish I could meet someone that I am a fan of, just randomly in the airport. What am I doing here? At the airport? And not the studio? A fantastic question. I finished up my shoot block ages ago. Yeah, I would never go on vacation early if that's what you're suspecting. Okay, realize how suspicious that sounded? Okay, look, I figured that since all the wild cards were reused for the finale, which I predicted would happen, right? I could just leave early, right? Look, I've got a lot on my plate. I went bar for bar with predictions, excluding the Jimmy one, and I proved myself, alright? I don't need you judging me. I also went into severe debt betting on Jimmy dying, so I really need to flee the country, but don't tell anyone I said that. Look, my point is, I'm going on vacation, and there's nothing you or anyone else can do to stop me. Goodbye. The plane's not ready yet.
I'm so bad at this game! I'm so bad at this game!
Welcome back to the Wildlife Recap Show. I'm Rosaic, and welcome to the finale. Before we dive into the chaos of this week's wildcard, let's go over where the server started before the events of the session. We could even call it a recap. First off, a few notes about last week. Grian appeared on the Imp and Skiz podcast as they reviewed their run of the Wildlife series to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes aspects. He confirmed that certain people got their power specifically, like Cleo, Bigby, Lizzie, Grian, and Scar. He also said that Martin's power of listening was a complete random assignment, however. Okay, Grian, I'm sure you think it was random. Let's ask the mod developer. The Bamboozlers were the most at risk, as they were the only team made up of just red names. In addition to every team member being known for their lack of environmental awareness, the team was on edge about their survival. They congratulated Jimmy on finally making it to the finale and went into action preparing themselves to win, improving their base and their gear. Scar missed Lizzie's warning about a trap she was about to arm and walked right into it, which is not the best omen for their chances. The final girls had one yellow to their name in the form of Impulse, who they lightly chastised for wasting his totem last episode when he could have teleported. His defense was that he had both his ability and his offhand key bound to his foot pedals, which, no, that still doesn't make any sense.
But you practice, Impulse! Why didn't you practice the totem switch, dude?
My hotkeys were on my foot pedals, and I got my left and my right foot mixed up, which I always do when I'm dancing. That's why my wife never goes dancing with me anymore, because I always get my feet mixed up.
They also called Bigby a member of the team, which was heartwarming, but also as an ally again, which Bigby should have thrown another fit over, honestly. Ren, or March Ren apparently, was also officially an ally, despite his unsightly appearance. Ren explained that as he used his powers to copy Martin's DNA right before Martin died, this chain of events caused the DNA to corrupt and not allow Ren to fully go back to normal, leading him to gain a split appearance and an occasional voice change. Given all the atrocities Martin had committed against them, the final girls were hesitant to allow the DNA abomination into their group, but eventually decided they were allies with just the Ren side. Both Ren and Bigby were under-geared for the upcoming fights, sporting iron armor and a dream. Impulse also finally noticed that his power last week generated ender pearls, and proceeded to not hand them out to his teammates. Ren's voice changer was just making him speak with a deeper voice, but it somehow fooled beat-ups into thinking that Martin was also speaking through the microphone. His hearing is really starting to go in his old age.
Hey, Martin!
I am Martin.
Wow.
DNA abomination. How
Yikes!
may I serve?
Oh, wait, that sounds like Martin.
It sure does!
Etho's wind charges from last week were passed around, although they were unfortunately no longer boosted. Etho asked if he could have the group's supply of string, but he would not explain what for until much later. The tough guys also noticed their low food supply and set up a cow spawner underneath B-Dubs' tower. Considering that each session lasted about 3 hours and that B-Dubs' tower was a magnet for explosives, they probably would not be getting much food from this endeavor. Grian was hanging around the group as they had their initial planning session and was invited to join them due to his proximity. He declined but offered a no-kill pact instead, which also extended to not exploding B-Dubs' tower. He would not keep this promise. Etho then left to check in on the final girls but got there after they'd already left the base. He did manage to run into Cleo, who told him to not die and give him permission to use their villagers. This netted a good number of arrows for both himself and B-Dubs, but not for Tango as he'd vowed not to use a bow.
Arrows? You think I'm shooting somebody?
Oh, give them back then, because I want them.
The family was nervous as they were both on yellow and would be the main target of the other groups. The duo agreed to do what they could to help each other with whatever happened this session, including a promise of a fair fight if they ended up being the last two. Given the number of people who like to hang around their base, the two decided to trap it. They didn't have the iron required for so many minecarts, so they went on a mining trip like it was still session 1. After Grian declared a truce with the tough guys, no diamond swords needed, he considered stocking up on food and just hiding. It's a comforting sign when the person who designed the wild card is scared of it.
This finale's really gonna separate the salmon from the cod, if you know what I mean. No, I don't know what that means.
We don't know what exactly is getting separated, as everyone would be dead by the end of the session. By the way, everyone's dead. More on that later. We now go out to Super Geek for the gimmick report. Where are they? Oh. 2-week notice. And it's been 2 weeks since I've last seen them. Well, if they resign, I guess I'll have to send someone to take over. Hold on. Hey, so, remember how we accidentally cut you from last week?
Okay, at least Geek left me their script here for me to read. This week.
Stop!
Geek, you're here. I thought you quit.
I did, but I came back. There was this whole moment of reckoning scene that happened entirely off camera. I ran off the plane shouting about having a responsibility, which would have taken several days of filming and everything. It was really emotional and heart-wrenching. It earned me an Academy Award. Off camera.
Okay. But Geek, what made you want to come back?
It's quite simple, really. I need to make sure you didn't butcher the hell out of my script.
What? Why would you
Come
think?
on, get off the stage. Scram, come on, move, let's go, move,
Okay,
move, scram, move, let's go, off.
Fine, I'm going, okay?
This week, 5 days before the holiest, silentest of nights, on my legally distinct Game Changer set, I am nostalgic for the humble start from week 2. And so, yet again, I come to you with a lesson on the history of a holiday. Christmas was not originally about the birth of Christ or jolly old Saint Nick, and it certainly wasn't anything related to Christianity. It was once again those dumb, nerdy Roman Catholics who hated the pagans for having fun when Jesus wasn't around. As we all know, that's a sin. Do you know what else was a sin? Everything except gluttony, apparently. 6 of the 7 wildcards from previous weeks made their return this session, excluding the randomized food from session 2. This is because Grian hates fun. All returning wildcards were slightly altered to be more balanced, as 2 or more gimmicks could have been active at any given time throughout the session.
All the wild mods have been slightly tweaked so that they're not as crazy as the original.
What?
Uh-oh.
Grian, you should have told us about this.
I did. I said they're all different. They're all tweaked.
Snail!
Starting with week 1's gimmick, they're now only able to shrink to 1.5 blocks. It could only grow to about 4 blocks. How this affected the balance of things, who's to say? Skipping over week 2, the snails are back, baby! With week 3's gimmick returning, albeit slightly nerfed. The little freaks voiced by Ollie Orion sound moved slower than they had previously, which honestly did more harm than good. But the snails not being a constant presence like they were previously, it would be incredibly easy to forget about them and have them sneak up on you. Fortunately, the lifers are known for their incredible game sense. Honestly, this change is more true to the original prompt that inspired the wildcard, even if the snails still have their skulls of steel, propeller hats, and parachutes and gain the ability to not drown their respective lifer. Is it like a scuba tank they have now or something? Also, they can be zombies now. We found Scar's snail after he had been eliminated, more on that later, and the shell was cracked, revealing a brain-like substance inside. That brain definitely didn't come from mimicking Scar, so we wondered how it got in there. What a fascinating species.
Oh my gosh, is that escargot now?
For session 4's gimmick, the time dilation shifted from slow to fast at a much faster rate, barely even freezing time when it started. This was most likely due to wanting to get the most bang for the gimmick's buck due to the fast-paced and staggered nature of the wildcards. They were not happening one after the other, but after one started, another started, then the first one ended, etc., and then a screen stating, oh my god, a wildcard is faded, and 3 would be turning on at the same time, the one would shut off, and another would turn on, the 2, and then we all grow sick of everything. Session 5's Quizmaster returned and was still incorrectly called Trivia by everyone, but this time they had no excuse because they've all seen the merch at this point. Can't believe the lifers are dead naming the poor thing. The lightning still struck and the music still played, but things did change. All questions were labeled as the hard difficulty and were now about the wildlife series and not anything previous. The timer on the robot was not affected by the time dilation, but the music certainly was.
Whose is it?
Yours.
Mine again?
Prizes were changed to give deadly items excluding end crystals, with equipment gifts being only tridents or netherite armor, with no one receiving useless helmets this time. New punishments were added, including a jump boost that always gave you fall damage and a horde of angry bees. There was no sight of Fish Snail, as players either answered their questions in time or had Quizmaster despawn when the wildcard faded. Also, one of the questions was about what Grian named an iron golem, and Tango knew it was Bloop with no hesitation. How did he know that? Who told him that? Does he have a psychic link with all iron golems or something?
What was the name of Grian's iron golem? Oh, it's Bloop. Not even gonna back up.
Mob randomization from Session 6 returned in basically the same way, killing every mob, spawning a bunch of new mobs, and then replacing them all with deadly or innocuous creatures. It continued its tradition of kicking players from rideable entities like with the named horses from Week 6 when it displaced beat-ups from his minecart, but it did not remove the minecart or replace it. Such a resilient box. Have you guys ever noticed that minecarts don't actually have wheels and use hover technology? That would explain why they can reach such fast speeds. It's all just, magnets. Like a bullet train.
Here we go! Spin me up, Grian!
Finally, the Week 7 superpowers made their return, playing the same song every single time it restarted. Some powers were altered or removed. There was no sign of beat-ups' slowing ability, which might just be due to there being one less player than there was last week. Then more people were eliminated this week, which might have just not allowed anyone to use it. It also might have been removed due to conflicts with the time dilation wildcard, but again, we don't know for certain. The zombies returned without Mumbo, though with every elimination the server had, more zombies joined the ranks to replace him. All zombies lost their items from when they were alive, although Scott somehow still had netherite armor.
Don't kill Jem now!
Whether he just gathered it after he'd been eliminated or just kept it through a bug in the system, who cares? The mob shape-shifting power could only cycle through random mobs without a copying ability, though it did occasionally summon passive mobs around itself to help sell the disguise. I'm sure the herd of sheep that wasn't there before won't arouse any suspicion. The astral projection ability now occasionally turned the user's body into a spider. I'm not sure if this was an intentional feature, but it was definitely a bug. The powers were randomized at every new appearance, allowing for people to commit hijinks with a plethora of powers, like when Joel led half the server in an infuriating chase with a swapping ability.
Oh, Tango, what do you want to do? Swap positions with me? Because that's fine if you want to. Oh, okay, Cleo can swap positions then, I guess.
Oh, no.
Oh, what's going on, Scott? Can't get me. Oh, gosh.
I need to stop trying to punch you
away.
away.
Wait for me, trying to shoot at.
Who's teleporting me?
Well, over the night here now, what's going on?
When there were only 9 people left alive, every wildcard in their altered state activated at the same time, with the title screen appearing to announce it.
What now?
The snails have returned.
The snails have returned. What is going on? Why is it rainbow?
Okay, I have to break character now.
It's everything.
This state would quickly end when the next person was eliminated. Whether it was planned to happen that way or it was set to a timer is unclear. Regardless, all wildcards were deactivated, with every player being told that the end is yours. Make it wild. And that ends the gimmick segment. Some fun things of note before we go. Cleo was fantastic at answering the Quizmaster questions, getting a perfect 5 out of 5 this episode, along with helping others to get the correct answer on theirs. She seems to be the only one with a good memory in the entire series, which makes sense with how long she can hold a grudge. Scott mentioned his red hoodie was inspired by Pearls, and when he gained the player shifting ability, he copied Pearls so they could match perfectly.
Twins!
Tango answered his trivia questions wrong 3 out of 4 times this session, and had his voice switched to robot noises twice. This marks the 3rd time he's become a robot due to the Quizmaster, which makes us think that it really wants him to join their ranks. One time the robot voice even stayed despite the wildcard fading. This was after failing a question about the name of Skizz's snail, so it's most likely karma biting him in the back for killing Skizz so many times. Grian had the ability of power mimicry once again, and used it to copy the player swap power. He towered up quite high and swapped locations with another lifer, hoping he could kill someone. Unfortunately, this someone was Etho, who had the triple jump power that negated fall damage. This was so inconsequential for Etho that it didn't even make it into his episode. If I had a nickel for every nickel-based trivia question, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but I know exactly why I'd have it twice.
If I had a nickel for every time... Stupid question!
Jem was given a question about the name of Bigby Snail, and unfortunately she had left the game to change her skin a few moments prior to Bigby actually dying to Bigby Shell, which would have left a chat message she could have seen if she were there. She then managed to guess through sheer skill what the name of the snail was, but her life could have been a lot easier if she didn't have to be so fashionable. To round it off, here's Scott watching his Quizmaster die before delivery. And also Tango.
No!
Oh, honestly, Tango, probably for the best.
God, I'm exhausted. Don't tell Rosaic, but I didn't actually come here out of the gut of my heart. My plane just got delayed by several hours, so I'm just gonna head back to the airport for my vacation. Permanent vacation. On a nice beach. Okay, bye.
We're back in the studio after completing Pufferish Push perfectly on the first try and getting it bored after doing it another 10 times. What we aren't bored of is the lifer traps continuing to not work as intended. Jem set up multiple trapped chests within the family space, hoping to punish any snoopers going through their chests. This quickly got P-dubs and later on Jimmy, but neither party took any damage from the traps. Given the ease at which people have managed to explode the Bamboozler's base in the past, it's a prime target for traps at the start of this week. The only issue is everyone had this idea at the same time, which cancelled out all their attempts. Pearl monologuing while sneaking up on the mountain also didn't help their effort. Etho had multiple traps hidden across the family and tough guys' bases meant to be set off with a wind charge. There was enough of a delay that he was able to get out of the blast radius, but not others. The issue with this method of activation was that Etho likes to jump around with wind charges, with this flaw being demonstrated when he blew up Gem and took her yellow life.
The best.
This is.
Whoa! You devil!
Oh no! I actually killed her.
You devil!
Oh, it was an accident.
Gosh, that was
I had no idea it would actually work this time. I forgot about it.
The universe quickly got back at him for killing his ally by saying "Snails be upon ye" and making him lose his yellow life as well. Joel killed a gas from the wild card, which dropped the gas tier. The quiz master was no longer giving out end crystals, so Joel had to make one for himself. The issue is, he didn't remember how to make one, despite being in the 7th life series and having played Minecraft for about 13 years. You could even see him pause while in the crafting grid as he searched up the recipe, even though there's a recipe book in the crafting grid that he's paused in.
Okay, we should be able to craft. Wait, how is it? What is it? This. Oh, I need one more glass.
While the whole server was after Joel, he was after Impulse as he was the only yellow Joel wasn't allied with and had attempted to kill the family in the past. He turned Impulse's snail invisible, which killed its target as Impulse tried to set up a trap in the family's base. This annoyed Impulse only slightly, given the number of times he'd already died to a snail.
No! I hate the stupid snails!
The final yellow death was Joel, and it took the majority of the server to kill him. This was due to the superpower wildcard being in play at the time, giving Joel the ability to teleport and swap with people. That didn't stop others from trying to explode him, or in Etho's case, revealing he used a mysterious string to craft several crossbows and become a turret.
I don't think so.
Is it time?
I think so.
There it is.
Scott, if you don't get off him, I might shoot you, Scott.
Oh, stop. Oh, this is quite fun. Whoa!
Not working. It's not working. Why is it not working? Okay, I'm wasting him.
He was chased around for some time before Grian, who had copied Joel's ability, teleported him up to Cherry Mountain. From there, he retreated to the car, where he got briefly attacked by Etho. Don't worry, this is just because Etho forgot about their alliance and not because Joel doesn't care. We're saying that for his sake so Gem doesn't kill him. While attempting to craft, Joel was cornered by Scott. Joel managed to get Scott low, but not enough to save him, losing his life. Etho was also trying to remove Joel's yellow life, but missed and eliminated Scott instead, causing Joel to mistakenly thank Etho for avenging him. For more on the final deaths of wildlife, we go out to the field.
Oh, okay, I actually get to be in the video this time. The eliminations of the final session ranged from the tragic to the dramatic. Both Big B and Scar fell victim to the unfortunate combination of the Quizmaster and the snails. Big B had left to ask Etho the answer to his question, and upon returning to his robot, he pulled a Mumbo.
I think it was Ren, and not
I just died by my snail. Scar
had the Quizmaster menu on his screen when the evil noises of a mollusk alerted him to his impending demise. With Scar dead, Lizzie ordered in chat for the remaining bamboozlers to retreat to the Bam Bunker. However, alerting the entire server to your location in a death game was not the best of plans. The team fell victim to Grian making good on his promise to end Jimmy's series. Lizzie, having been cursed with robot voice after failing a trivia question, gave the iconic final words of beep boop.
D. Oh no! You're a robot!
It's gonna be like this, Jim.
No! No, my wife!
Etho was responsible for the final kills of 2 other people this week, though neither of them on purpose. Impulse was in a massive all-out brawl when a creeper spawned by Etho eliminated him, and Etho accidentally shot Scott when the two were trying to kill Joel. As all wild cards were activated, Gem became the victim of a hog hunt by the rest of the server. She had gotten the fall damage curse from a Quizmaster, was forced to grow big due to jumping as she ran, and was being chased by several mobs as well. The final blow was struck by a Vex. Truly, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. A real David and Goliath situation.
Guys, I can help you out.
Why can I jump so high? Oh, I'm big.
Once the wild cards were deactivated, the tough guys demonstrated that sometimes there is nothing more dangerous to a player than themselves, and fell like a couple of dominoes. Etho set off one of his traps with a wind charge but failed to execute it properly and eliminated himself. B-Dubs was the second victim of Tango throwing wind charges at the spider, causing him to fall to his doom. That pool of water at the bottom is surely putting in the work. Tango accidentally brought himself down to half a heart by a creeper as he tried to attack the final girls, allowing Joel to deal the finishing blow. The remaining final girls decided to gang up on Joel, which did not go well for them. Pearl was trying to escape combat and unfortunately used an ender pearl directly into the top of some bamboo stalks, causing her to fall and take a severe amount of fall damage. Grian, helping his ally, then ran in and finished her off. Cleo was aiming wind charges at Grian to knock him off the mountain, but was caught off guard by Joel and eliminated. Ren was stuck in cobwebs and shot with poisonous arrows by Joel, and as Ren tried to escape with an ender pearl, he took too much damage and lost his last life. Can't believe Martin was eliminated 1.5 times.
So nice to see you here. Oh.
So nice to see you, Beans.
I'm away from there, Ren. Sorry.
At least I got a couple of swipes. Ow.
Oh, is that hurting, Ren? Are you poisoned? Are you hurting?
Then came the final showdown between Grian and Joel. Grian had run off to hide and gather his thoughts on top of a cherry tree, but was knocked off by a surprise attack from Joel, causing Grian to die of fall damage, crowning Joel as the winner of Wildlife.
Oh, gosh. I see you, Grian.
No!
I'm sorry, Grian.
No! I'm so bad at this game! I'm so bad at this game!
To celebrate his win, Joel checked on his trap and solidified his reputation of never building a functional trap in the Life series, which he got thoroughly mocked for by Lizzie's ghost. He then officially ended his red life and the entire season by tossing several ender pearls into the sky and taking enough damage from them to die.
Thank you so much for watching this series of Wildlife. Make sure to subscribe. Goodbye. I suck at traps! Ah! Victory ender pearls. I can't believe it.
It'll be a long day without you, lifers. You'll tell us all about it when we see you again.
And that's it for this week. With the season now to close, I'd like to take a quick moment to shout out all of the people that have helped Grian with the development of the wildcards. Grian has a more thorough breakdown as well as some behind the scenes testing footage in his outro, so be sure to check that out. We've mentioned the help given by the various members of the Artimeter SMP with the Quizmaster questions, as well as Hoffin's work on the Quizmaster designs and the skins for certain lifers, and Cherryfire's work on the snail merch. Ollie the Orion Sound was credited for the unique audio throughout the season, with additional help from Joe on the superhero theme. Danny is credited with the snail designs and animations. Dr. Bracewell has been credited with her work on the data pack in the past, but we'd also like to shout out Henkel Max and Breadloaf for their work on the code. I'd also like to take a moment to thank everyone who helped make the show possible these past months. First off, I'd like to thank everyone on the WLRS team. Whether you did note-taking, script writing, or reporting, y'all helped make this possible. I'd especially like to thank Geek, who really didn't plan on being a co-lead, editor, and thumbnail artist among so many other responsibilities, but really stepped up to the challenge and helped make this project what it has become. I'd also like to thank Phoenitix, Sphinxo, Ellie, and Viking Pilot for lending their talents throughout the season, and to the lead reporters of MCNN for offering their show-running expertise. A lot of our team also do content in their own time, so I highly recommend checking them out. I'll leave a list of links in the comments below so you can go check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for watching. Whether you started watching us week 1 or you're just now finding us, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the show. Without you, there would be no channel, so thank you. This isn't the last video you'll see from us though. We promised a video of cut jokes early in our season, so that along with bloopers and behind the scenes footage will be coming out in the new year. We may also cover future live series, so stay tuned for if that happens. I've been Rosaic, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the future.
were gone so soon. It's so sad.
Can't believe they've left this world.
Oh, for goodness sake! I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. That's a car. What a funeral for a car. Not even just a car. It's a really ugly car. It was an accurate altered 1970 Dodge Charger RT. I'd at least understand the sentiment, but it's not even properly shaped. It has red stripes.
Hey man, there's no need to body shame.
Sir, I think you need to leave.
Well, that's ridiculous. Look at the casket. It's way too small for an entire car.
It died in an explosion. It got a purple heart.
What's that even supposed to be?
All right, he's British.
Are you all even watching this? Did you have rates? Are they working? Are they tasty?
Hello. You got so close this time. How did it feel? Being one of two allies at the end. Falling off yet again. But not winning this time. Did you enjoy that funny, familiar feeling? Your feedback is important to us. Well, that's just rude, so you shouldn't speak so impolitely to family. That's just hurtful. We even let you host your own form of the games this time. Oh, you're hung up over that. We admit, we altered the game without telling you, but not by a lot. How would you have gotten the snails without us? Without our help? We saw you alter the wild cards. Ungrateful. We just wanted to make sure the game was exciting. Was it not exciting? Was it not tasty? Your feedback is important to us. We hope you enjoyed your time at the controls. It will not happen again. Our will be done. See you in the next iteration. Farewell. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.